Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fanatic Breakdown. I am your host, Chris Higgins, bringing all the latest NFL, NBA, and MLB news. Today, I'm going to be doing something a lot different than what I'm used to, but all of the NBA City jerseys just dropped. I mean, at this point, we've seen a lot of them already in action. I'm going to do my reaction to them, see what I think, because honestly, I think a lot of them are pretty bland, but there are a few that I like. So I'm going to give my reaction to them. Let me know what you guys think of this format and me putting my face in the video. It's not something I'm used to and or like doing, really. But I thought, what the heck, why not? I'm a little bit bored. Let's see what I can do. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with the Eastern Conference. And I know this video is going to look really sloppy because I'm just going to show you from my phone what they all look like. This is from NBA's Instagram. But with the Hawks, I don't hate them. I mean, I don't love them, but I know they're a lot worse. A lot of these look like practice jerseys. And I'm going to rate them out of 10. I'll say that's a 6. I mean, nothing special. I don't think they did anything extravagant. This next one, I am a Celtics fan. What are these? What are these? The second these dropped, because they dropped way earlier this year, these are awful. Those look like practice jerseys. I don't like the neon. I can't really tell you why I don't like the neon green, but I don't like it. It's Okay, now this next one is the Brooklyn Nets. I actually like that. I'm not a huge fan of their color scheme just because it's mostly just black, but I think they did well with what they have, like the kind of camo looking thing. I'll give that an 8. I actually think it's towards the higher end. Now the next is the Charlotte Hornets. I like those. I think their city jerseys usually look really good, mostly just because I really enjoy their color scheme. And I think the pinstripe or the black and gold pinstripe works well for them. I'm not sure how well you guys can see these. If you can't see them well, I hope you know you just follow along on your phone. You can always look them up. But I do not have the time on my hands to actually, edit this and put them all in on top of my video. But moving on, this is one that I was torn on when I first saw, is Chicago, because no part of this reminds you of the Chicago Bulls. Usually you think of like red and black, like that's what you think of when you think Chicago. But I also like what they did here. I personally enjoy this. I think if it was any other team, I might have put it a little bit higher, but it kind of goes away from what Chicago's known for, so I'll give it like a 7. And I also haven't been giving ratings for all of these, but these are my feelings, so bear with me. I'm tired. Now, this is one. These might be my favorite in the Eastern Conference. Cleveland. And I kind of go against my own logic when it comes to what I said about Chicago, and you don't think of Cleveland when you look at the baby blues. But I think these are beautiful. Like honestly, I would wear a jersey that looks like this. That I think it looks good. I like I said, it goes away from Cleveland, but I think I really like the font. I think that looks really, really good. And what can I say? I like blue. Okay. The next we come back down to earth a little bit. We have the Detroit Pistons. I like the font. That's all I like. I don't like the cream color that they use for the rest of the jersey, and then the rest of it's just bland. That's all I can say about that. It's bland. Okay, and then next we have another jersey that I think is really, really good. I don't think it's as good as their ones last year because I believe their city jerseys from last year were black with this font, which I actually preferred. But I do like it. I think it looks pretty solid. Like I said, I think the other ones from last year were better, but the blue and then like the spray paint looking stuff on the sides where like it looks like they splattered paint on it, I think is really, really cool. I think the font matches the jersey well. I'd give it a 9. And like I said, I'm not rating all of these. I'm all over the place right now, but I thought it would be fun to do this. Okay. I think these are in the exact same boat as the Boston Celtics jerseys, and I think they're really bad. The Miami Heat's jerseys. I think these are slightly better than the ones they had last year, which doesn't say much. I would give this a 1 if I was rating it. because their ones last year were just black and it said Heat Culture on it, just like they do this year. But they look like G League or like Summer League jerseys. Yeah, Summer League. That's what I think of when I look at these. Is you're not making the roster, like, oh my gosh, what I don't bring in a designer. Like I think the owner looked and was like, like heat culture. Oh, this is garbage. I just don't get it. Okay, the next one, I had mixed feelings on this just because I do think it's pretty generic. The Milwaukee Bucks. And I saw somebody was like, "Oh, the jerseys match their future because it's trending down." But no, I mean they're all right. I think their city jerseys in years past were better than the one this year, but I do think they look a lot better than most of the other jerseys on this list. So I'd give it like a solid 7. Now this one, the pinstripe for the New York Knicks, I do like. I'll be honest. I like it. I don't like the font and the doubled up font for New York. I just think that's kind of stupid. Other than that, I think the jersey is pretty good. I'd give it like an 8. Now these next ones I actually really like. It's like the gray and super dark blue Magic jerseys. I prefer their like super dark blue with the hints of gray from last year. And that might just because I watched them wear it in person last year. Well, I didn't watch them wear it in person last year, but I have a hat from their city jerseys from last year, and it's when I went to one of their games, so it's kind of, sentimental to me, I guess. But I do really like these. Like I said, I prefer the darker blue. It feels more Magic to have mostly blue. Okay, right now, I would rate these probably the third worst on the list right now behind Boston's and the Heat. The 76ers jerseys, like I said before, for a few other teams, bring in a designer, because this, like, you slapped on Sixers and some like blue numbers and then called it a jersey. Like, there's no creativity in this at all, other than you changed the font that you usually use. And I think the other font, like the fancy or like the cursive font for Philly, for that usually says Philly, I think looks better. I don't like these at all. I think they're kind of awful. Now these, I do like. I would have preferred them to be purple, just because I think that I just like the color purple, if I'm being honest. But I like that they brought back the old logo. Honestly, I really like these. And, I'm usually a fan of mostly black. Like, I feel like I'm kind of contradicting myself, but I feel like on a jersey, I prefer colors, but on this, I don't mind it. I think it looks pretty good for what the jersey is. Now these were really interesting to me, like the super light powder blues with the District of Columbia on the front of it for Washington. I kind of like it. I think they are better than their ones. I think it's the ones from 2 years ago that were like pink. I was like, ugh, nasty. So I think these are a step up from years past. I still think they're kind of generic, but I like these a lot more than a lot of the other ones. So I'd give it like a 6, 7. So that's all I've got for the East. Now we're going to move on to the West. Okay, now I already know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but we're going to start with the Dallas Mavericks, and they're like white and silver jerseys. I honestly really like these. I can't put my finger on why I like them, but I just think they kind of fit how Dallas does things. Don't get me wrong, my favorite Dallas jerseys are the I'd say the black ones with the blue font on it. I think those are the ones they wore last year. Maybe it was 2 years ago. It all runs together, but I saw, and they wore these last night, I believe, and I think they looked pretty good. So I'd say like a 7. Okay, now moving on to Denver, and these were interesting. It's one of those other ones that I think are kind of simple, but not as simple as most of the jerseys on this list. And I like the kind of like the rainbow outlining on it. I don't know if you can see it. That's rainbow, and then the kind of the mountains that outline the 5280. I think that's pretty cool. Um, Nothing that screams Denver, other than, I mean, like the rainbow kind of signifies their old jerseys, and then the mountains. So, but I like them, honestly. I think they're a lot better than most of the jerseys on this list. Now moving on to Golden State, which reminds me of a Denver Nuggets jersey. It reminds me of their it reminds me of an old Nuggets jersey. I don't remember which year they wore them, but nothing about this screams Golden State, like with the bright red and yellow. Um, I don't love them. I don't exactly hate them. I'd go on the side, or I'm leaning towards the side that I don't like them, so I'd give them like a 4. I just I don't know why they'd choose this as their city jerseys for this year. Now moving on to one that I also think people won't like that I do like is the Houston jerseys. I honestly I don't know why, but I really like the font that they use for the H Town. Um, and then like the stripes down the sides I actually think fit pretty well. Nothing crazy, but I think it does its job well enough to be like, oh yeah, that's a pretty nice Houston Rockets jersey. Just honestly, I think every jersey is nice as long as they don't bring back sleeved jerseys because those look awful. Like I will never like a sleeved jersey like when they wore them in the 2010s. Those look garbage. I don't know what made me think of that. Okay, the Clippers. I don't know. I don't know. Once again, very generic. I like the blue. I'm pretty sure it was last year. I don't remember if last year they wore dark blue or like completely white jerseys that said Clips. I don't know. Like it's all running together, man. I don't remember. But I remember I didn't like their jerseys last year. These I like a little bit more. I do know that. Um, okay, moving on. The Lakers. Okay, I don't know how to feel about these because part of like my gut is saying these are trash, but as I said, I do really like purple and I like the fade from purple to black. When they do that, it always gets me. Like the jersey, my favorite jerseys are the Miami Vice jerseys from the Miami Heat. I think a lot of people will agree on that. Like the pink that fades to blue or like to light blue, my favorite. And these kind of remind me of that in the way that it fades. So that kind of makes me like it right off the bat. Okay, now if it didn't have Memphis on it, I would not have known it was a Grizzlies jersey. It kind of looks like a college jersey to me. I don't dislike it. But like also extremely generic. I don't know why they're going with a red color scheme. It has nothing to do with the Grizzlies, which I think you could say about a lot of these jerseys. And I just don't think it does enough to warrant a color scheme change. I don't know. And if you see me looking, it's because the Bengals and Chargers are playing on Sunday night. That's why. Um, okay, next Minnesota. I feel like I got to get close enough to you so you can actually see the. It's supposed to, and then if you can read it, I don't know if it's gonna be mirrored or not. But it's lakes under a moonlit sky. It's like for Minnesota. I think that looks really cool, and it actually means something to Minnesota. Like it actually, like it signifies where they play in their biome, and like I said, something about a white jersey, and then also I've seen them play in this already, and then Julius Randle's game winner in this, I think, and I think they looked pretty good when they played in them. So I'd give them a higher grade. I'd say like once again another 7. I just don't think anything blows me away or anything's like really bad enough. Okay, now these were interesting. These remind me of the Joker, um, for New Orleans. I don't. Hmm. Man, What's with the bones? Yeah, I didn't notice that until now. What is with the bones? Those are bones. Why? I don't understand it. Okay. I don't. Maybe there's something. I feel like I'm. It has something to do with culture, and I feel like I'm gonna feel really bad if someone points this out in the comments that I have no clue what that means. Um, but I mean, the color scheme is just. I kind of want to give them kudos just for the fact that it's super unique, and that's something I can't say about most of the other. Yeah, what the heck? They're unique, and I like that. A lot of the is something, and they changed this color scheme, but it's super different. So I like that, I guess. Okay, this is actually the first time I'm seeing these jerseys now, the Oklahoma City jerseys. I like those. I don't know why, but I actually kind of like those. And OKC usually does go away from their color scheme when they're making their city jerseys. So this is something that's not super unique, and they actually did stay within the realm of possibility for their color scheme. I like it. Yeah, I think they did a pretty good job. Moving on is the Phoenix Suns. I can honestly say I hate these, and I don't know why. I can honestly say that. I think their ones from last year with the sun across the chest looked way better, like their throwbacks that they wore a lot. I just it's so generic, and I think it's such a big step back from what they were last year. I can't say I like it at all. It Moving on is the Portland Trailblazers. That's different, and I don't know if you could see it well enough, but they did something different on the design. It's just not totally black, but there are like hints of white in there. I I like it. I don't think it's anything crazy. And I did like their ones from last year. That's something I remember. I don't remember what they looked like, but I do remember I liked them last year. But I can also honestly say that I like theirs from this year as well. I know a lot of people didn't like their ones from last year, so they're probably not going to like my opinion on this. And I wouldn't blame you because there's nothing crazy, but I mean, and something I'll say now that I haven't said yet is this is an opinion. It's all subjective. Everybody's going to think something looks nice that I won't think looks nice, and you'll think stuff looks garbage that I do like. That's how it goes. That's life. Get over it. I hate these. I hate these. This is also the first time I'm seeing these, but I hate them. It really reminds me of the Atlanta Hawks jerseys from the 2000s, and I don't like that at all because this is supposed to be Sacramento. You know, like the black and purple. I just don't understand why they would do that. Now, this is what I don't hate. And if you can't, I'm sure you can't see it here, but that's not totally white. That's like an off blue, like a bluish white kind of thing. I like it. Yeah, the San Antonio. I think I like the San Antonio font. I like what they did with the numbering too. They don't go insane, but I also remember not liking theirs from last year. I'm pretty sure they were white last year, and they looked relatively similar to that. But I like them this year. I can honestly say that. And then, like finishing off the last one we've got, the Utah Jazz. I think the Utah Jazz jerseys always look good. I think they kind of dumbed them down this year from last year, but they still look really good. As I've said before, I really like purple. I like how they used the mountains. I don't think they did too much, but I also don't think they dumbed it down enough to where it doesn't look good. So I like it. I'd give those a 10, quite honestly. All right, so let me know what you guys thought of that format. I know it was really sloppy. I know this isn't going to be a very great video, but it's something I wanted to do. And I know it is what it is, but I also wanted to get you guys' input on something. So as you can see, my room's this is where my door is, but there's nothing on the walls. And I'm a sports guy, and if in the occasion you guys do want my face in future videos, which, as I've said before, I'm not so certain on. I don't really like putting my face in content if I don't feel it's necessary. And if I think it kind of takes away from what I'm talking about. I don't really see why I'd try to make that about me. But I am trying to get some sports memorabilia on the wall. Huge thank you to my mom for something. As a few of you know, if you check my subscriber count, I recently hit 2,000, which isn't a huge milestone, but it is for me, and my mom is very proud of me, and that means more than anything she could possibly get me. But to show she was proud of me, she bought me this. I don't know if you guys can see it well. It's a Trayvon Walker. It's an autographed Trayvon Walker jersey that I'm going to hang soon. I just got to get something for it. Huge thank you to her for getting that started for me because I want to start getting stuff for my room. I mean, it just makes sense because I'm the sports guy. And like I said, in the occasion that I do start putting my face in my videos, I feel like it would be really smart to have like a sports den in a sense. So that's going to start off my collection. He's one of my favorite players at the time right now, and I can't thank her enough for that. I love her so unbelievably much, and it means the world to me that what I'm doing right now makes her proud. I, like, honestly, not to get too sappy, I'm going to go away from this for a second because I feel like I shouldn't get emotional on YouTube. That's not really my niche. But yeah, so huge thank you to her for that, and I wanted you guys a suggestion on maybe some players or like types of memorabilia, whether like it's helmets or, you know, photos, jerseys, like players, and what you think type of memorabilia I should put on my walls or in my like. I'm probably gonna get a what am I a freaking a shelf. That's what I'm thinking of. Why couldn't I think of the word shelf? But yeah, what I should put on that, just recommendations. I have a rough outline of the players that I want to get, you know, some of my favorites from each sport. As a lot of you know, I'm a Celtics fan. My favorite player on the Celtics right now, Jason Tatum. I'd love to get one of his signed jerseys up on the wall eventually. Same thing with Fernando Tatis. He's one of my favorite players in baseball. I can't tell you why, but he's one of the first players that I watched. Kind of the same thing with actually, one of the first players I watched for basketball was Russell Westbrook. He's one of my favorites, but way too expensive. But yeah, so let me know. I know I'm kind of rambling right now. It's kind of word salad, but it's nearly 11 at night, and I'm trying to watch a football game while recording this. But thank you guys so much for watching. And like I said, give me those recommendations if you have any. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was really kind of meh, like I know that. But thank you guys for watching to this point. If you have, I really appreciate it. I love you. Jesus loves you. And I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow bringing you more sports news.